Your conflict management skills will serve you well on every team.
Now let's revisit one of the most difficult stages for your team and project manager, the storming stage. This is a stage when conflict first appears. Conflict is disagreement. It can be about small things such as which day to have the weekly project meeting, or very big decisions where there is a lot at stake. Every team experiences conflict, and the sooner it develops the skills to handle conflict, the happier everyone will be. That is why conflict management is a key skill for project team and project manager. One of project managers' first lessons about conflict is that conflict can be a good thing. In fact, when conflict is effectively managed, the disadvantages shrink and benefits grow. The negative aspects of conflict are easy to understand. It makes us uncomfortable, and it threatens relationships on the team. When poorly managed, the conflict we experience in a disagreement can both damage a relationship and produce a bad decision. The positive view of conflict is that conflict is actually healthy. It shows that there are different perspectives being shared, which is absolutely essential to develop creative solutions. And conflict does not have to threaten relationships. In fact, when you and a team member effectively work through a disagreement, it can build trust and respect. For conflict to be healthy, it must be resolved by the people who are involved. If every conflict is referred to project manager for resolution, this team will struggle throughout the project. There are many sources of conflict, many reasons for disagreement, but there are 5 classic responses to conflict. As we review these, you'll probably recognize every one of them, but only one is considered the ideal approach. A common and ineffective approach is to avoid dealing with the conflict. It's considered a lose-lose approach because the conflict remains, creating bad feelings and a less than ideal solution. If you've seen people in a disagreement just prefer to avoid the topic or team member, you know this isn't effective. Smoothing is similar. It also denies that the conflict exists. Team members prefer to focus on their relationship at the expense of creating the best decision. Smoothing is an unhealthy denial of the conflict. If this becomes a habit, the project will grind to a halt as no meaningful progress can be made on disagreements. Compromise is a show of goodwill, but in fact, it can result in disappointment on both sides. I give up something, you give up something, and neither of us likes the outcome. Like these 2 friends that want to take a road trip this weekend. They can't decide where to go, so they compromise, and neither is happy. Forcing is just like it sounds, and you can probably think of an unpleasant experience with it. If I know what I want, and I use my positional authority, or am aggressive, or attack your ideas, I might get my way. But I will have damaged the relationship with my team member. Trust disappears. For the exam, and for life in general, remember that forcing is the worst approach. We've looked at 4 responses that don't work. Here's the one that is always considered the best approach: problem solving. Problem solving is a respectful method of looking at the disagreement objectively. It is win-win because it's jointly working to resolve the disagreement. The relationship is strengthened and the best solution is created. And I'll say it again, for the exam, problem solving is the best approach to resolving conflict.